Sometimes you find yourself in certain weird situations, weird circumstances where you're literally running around, spinning in circles, trying to make things happen for yourself, going to work, pushing the ball forward as far as your life is concerned, making decisions and things like that. But you just realize, you're just like, okay, you're not seeing any progress. You're not seeing, at least not progress, significant progress enough to the effort, proportional to the effort that you're making. And you're just like, okay, can't help but wonder, what am I doing wrong? Honestly, like, what am I doing wrong? And oftentimes, nothing. It's like I'm doing everything that I could possibly do, and you're probably right. You are doing everything you could possibly do in this moment, and to the best of your ability. You're showing up to the best of your ability. Yes, you have low days and down days, but you show up every day. Literally, you do. And things are still not progressing they're still not progressing to the level that they're supposed to be progressing. And you're just like, what's going on? And bottom line is, you probably are doing everything you could possibly do in this moment, in this season. You probably are maxing out your efforts right now. But the truth of the matter is, no matter what you do, you could show up at 100% every day, which nobody has that really. But you could show up at 100% energy, 100% focus, 100% everything every day, and still fall short. Why? Because your environment doesn't allow you. Your environment doesn't allow you to make progress, basically. You could do everything. You could do it all. Check all the boxes as far as your efforts are concerned. If you are in an environment that's toxic, if you're in an environment that's stagnant, if you're in an environment that doesn't support your goals, it's not conducive to what you're trying to accomplish, you're gonna be doing a lot. You're gonna feel exhausted at the end of it and not have much to show for it. Okay, and there's only so much of that you can do. So stop trying to do the most when you know your environment, your space is not supporting this. Either change the environment to the best of your ability and actually look at it. Who are the people in there? Are they helping? No, take them out. Okay. By this, we mean either remove yourself from the space, or stay away from them, or isolate yourself, or do something so that you don't have to be around those people because they're not helpful. Right? What are the things in the environment? Do you have distractions? Do you have this and that? TV, video games, whatever. Is that helping? No? Okay, take that out. What else? Are you in a space that's very noisy? That's very turbulent? Can you ever get peace in there? No? Okay, then you know what to do. Again, either isolate yourself, if you can find a way to do that and still be able to focus, or remove those people from your environment by getting away from them. If you personally can't remove them, like if they can't go for whatever reason, then you go, right? But either way, that you can't be together in that same space and expect some sort of success and advancement in your life. That's not going to happen. Okay? They're not there for you. They're not there to support you. They're not even moving in the same direction as you as far as their life is concerned. So don't expect any sort of understanding, compassion. No. Don't expect any of those things. It's just not going to happen. Okay, just know what it is. It is what it is. And act accordingly. And to be honest, don't try to experiment with this. The sooner you can get out of that situation, the better, because you're wasting time. Staying in it, you're wasting time. By staying in it, you're wasting time. And one of the things that we don't realize, young people don't always realize coming up, is you don't have all the time that you think you have. Yes, technically speaking, you have a lifetime. The life expectancy being, let's say, 80 to 100 years old. That's technically speaking. But as far as circumstances and situations, you don't know what's going to hit you 2 years from now, 5 years from now, 1 year from now, 6 months. You don't know what's going to hit you. You don't know what's coming your way. Okay, whether it's connected to your career, connected to your health, connected to family members passing away and things like that. You don't know what's going to hit you, what curveball life is going to throw at you. So you need to be ready. That doesn't mean live with paranoia, because that's not going to help either. That doesn't mean reduce yourself to nothing and just work around the clock. That doesn't help either, because now you're causing damage. Okay. People don't talk about this enough, but even if you are striving for greatness, and not even greatness, that too, but even if you are just striving for a better life is also meant to be enjoyed. Okay, it's also meant to be enjoyed. Depending on where you live, you might not have heard this enough, if ever, but because a lot in a lot of spaces in certain countries, especially in Western society, all they push is work. All they push is productivity. All they push is go, go, go. To what end? Who knows? But there's a balance, that there's another side to that. Why strive? Why push so hard when you don't get to enjoy anything along the way? You hoping to get to 80 years old and then maybe start to enjoy a piece of your labor. That is ridiculous. Okay. First of all, the 80 years old is not guaranteed to anybody. Let's start there. Okay, second of all, that's a long time to be pushing the ball uphill and never taking a break and never sitting down to contemplate the goodness and the greatness and the beauty of life. That's a long time. That's too long. Okay, life is meant to be enjoyed. But in that same spirit, creating some level of stability for yourself and for your family down the road. So it's a balancing act. It's not easy, but it's important. It's important. And good things should never be done to the extreme, right? Even if it is a good thing. Yes, striving for greatness is a good thing. Yes, striving for creating a better life is a good thing. Okay, but if you take that to the extreme and you become obsessive about it to the point where you're causing damage to your body, you're causing damage to your relationships, causing damage to your health and everything, everything else along the way, then it has a counter effect. Okay, it has a negative effect now. Now you don't have you can accumulate all the material things, all the wealth in the material world, but you don't have a body to enjoy it, and you have no body to enjoy it with. So that's a problem. Okay, so everything has to be done in balance, in moderation, with a sober mind and with good perspective. Okay? That being said, your environment can and will determine how quickly you're able to get to your destination, or at least your next chapter. Your environment can and will determine how much energy you will have spent to get there, if ever. Can you imagine this for a second. Take all the efforts that you're putting in right now in your day-to-day life. Let's say 1 week, 1 week's worth of effort. Take those same efforts, see how it, reflect on how it plays out in your life right now, based on your environment right now. You take those same efforts and you put yourself around people. Let's say, for example, you were living in a house with other high achievers. You were living in a house with other people that are drama free. You were living in a house with other people that are just in a decent, I'm not saying, joyful all the time, but in a pleasant mood, approachable at least. Let's say you take those same efforts and you were in that new environment with those types of people. Imagine from this week, look at what you've done this week and how you accomplished it. Maybe you did accomplish, maybe you didn't, and how much energy you spent to get there. Versus take those same efforts and put them in the new space with the people that are balanced and relatively decent. Okay, imagine how much you will have accomplished in 1 week's time in that new environment. Can you imagine that for a second? Think about the goals that you've set for the week. Think about your energy levels. Think about your mood being affected. Think about how often you're running around, dipping and dodging certain people because you don't want them to have an impact on your focus, let's say, right? Versus being in that new space around people that all they do is focus. And then when you finally, let's say, break the silence or have to chat about something, you're talking about things that are uplifting. You're talking about encouraging each other. You're talking about, hey, what are you up to right now? Sharing information, pushing each other forward. Even if you don't say a word, you see how they move. You see how they push forward. They see you as well. So it's a give and take. They see you as well. So when you're down, you look at them, you feel inspired. When they're down, they look at you, they feel inspired. And just like that, you create this vibe in the space of motivation, of positivity, of camaraderie, of health. Okay? The mindset is completely different in the new space. Imagine that for a second. Or you can just imagine yourself living alone, where you're completely distraction free. You're not going to be able to rely on other people to motivate you per se, just by, just through the environment, looking at them and feeling inspired. You're not going to be able to do that. But you're also not going to have to do that because there is nothing else in the area, right? There's no naysayers or people that are going nowhere, basically, that are not doing anything, that are not future focused at all, pulling on your energy. So it's just you relying on you and your own focus and your own drive and your own motivation, okay, which you have to generate that for yourself, yes, but you also don't have anyone pulling away and chipping away at the efforts that you're putting in, okay, that you're adding. So environment matters. Do not underestimate. You could make all the efforts in the world. If your environment doesn't support you, directly or indirectly, you're just spinning in circles. You're just spinning in circles, losing energy, losing fuel, have to go back to the gas station, refuel, losing energy again, losing charge. Like you're just losing. You might achieve a little bit here and there, but it takes a lot out of you. A lot. And that you don't need. What you need is stability, and it starts with your space. From a solid foundation, and only from that point can you actually build. Okay, no one has ever built on a shaky on shaky ground. No one has ever created anything solid on a shaky foundation. If at all they have started, they won't finish. Okay, they're not gonna make it to the top because the foundation is shaky, right? Before you know it, the house is gonna fall apart. Okay, as soon as they put a brick here, a brick there, then it's gonna start falling apart because the foundation is weak. Okay, lopsided. Check your foundation. Check your space. Check your environment. All efforts towards a better life will be null and void if the environment is not what it needs to be. Period. Stop wasting your time trying to make it something that it's not. You just get up out of there. Make a change.